Lightning bolts shoot from my fingertips! Who would say that? Craziness. Mother. You two suck at peddling meth. Well, that one's easy. Breaking Bad. You two suck at peddling meth. Period. Each year, Vince Gilligan would make these challenge coins. It has writing on it and designs on it that are just a memento of that group effort. I was in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth season. Playing Saul in Breaking Bad taught me that if you're going to lie down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. You know, Saul in Breaking Bad was kind of more fun to watch than a lot of other characters because he wasn't going to die, or at least he thought he wasn't. He felt he was outside of the sights of the cartel and the enemies. In the end, he became in just as much danger as anybody. But for a great deal of my time there, Saul was a funny character who made jokes all he wanted because he wasn't scared. Have you ever seen us steal machinery before? Have you ever seen us steal machinery before? I don't know. Oh, that's a great movie.
Have you ever seen us steal machinery before?
This was a joy to do this. Of course, it's a drama, but a light comedy drama. I loved working with Bruce Dern, who's a great cinema presence and a great guy. A joy to talk to and know. Bruce and I talked before I did Broadway with Glenn Ross, and he gave me great encouragement in taking that role on. I wrote down everything he said, and I had it in my dressing room right there where I could read it every day. It's amazing when you get to work with Hollywood legends. You can't conceive of what I'm capable of. I'm so far beyond you. I'm like a god in human clothing. Lightning bolts shoot from my fingertips. That is from Better Call Saul. A great scene. And hey, actors, can you imagine being given a monologue like this to do on film? Come on. I did nothing to deserve this kind of writing. Lightning bolts shoot from my fingertips! Great drama and great fun and great character and great energy and great craziness. Craziness. The first scene that I did in Breaking Bad, when Saul has Walter White in his office, somewhere after half an hour, 40 minutes of shooting, the director yelled, "Cut." And one of the cameramen said, "Can I get a job on the sequel?" And everyone laughed because I guess everyone was thinking this character is pretty great, pretty fun to see. From that point on, it was a joke that are they going to make a sequel with Saul? And every year, one time a year, Vince Gilligan would pull me aside somewhere and say, "What do you think about that? Do you think there could be a show in Saul?" And every time he'd ask me, I'd say, "I have no idea. Only you know that. And if you want to write that, I'll do it." It really wasn't until the finale of Breaking Bad, I'm going to say a year after, that Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, who wrote the first episode that featured Saul, called Better Call Saul, they took me to lunch at the Chateau Marmont, famous Hollywood place, and said, "We're thinking about creating that show. And what do you think?" I said, "First of all, you're going to have to make him likable. Saul isn't sort of fun on his own. He's fun in the context of Breaking Bad." And the other thing I said to them was, "And don't forget, I'm 50 years old. So, please don't write him as a 30-year-old because I'm not 30. And of course, then they went and wrote him as like 30. So, yeah, they had to CGI the bags from under my eyes in like 3 scenes on Better Call Saul. So it's been a real effort on my part to get people to see me as the age that I actually am. Now that's in there. Don't just look at each other. That's from one of the best sketches we ever did on Mr. Show, The Audition.
Now that's in there? Yes. Don't just look at each other?
Yes. Exactly when we did it.
When it comes to the writing of Mr. Show, these sketches like The Audition, Lie Detector, Talk Show at Sea, they're kind of perfect sketches as far as like classical sketch construction. And they're the hardest thing to write. We had incredible freedom on Mr. Show. Everything that I learned at SNL that I never got to use when I wrote on SNL, I used to make Mr. Show. At SNL, it was very easy, especially for young writers, to get their ideas shot down very quickly by older writers. When I went to Mr. Show and I was in charge over there with David Cross, I sort of made it a rule that you don't shoot anything down. You have to talk about everything. You have to fully understand the writer's idea before you let it go. So it was a good thing to learn what not to do from Saturday Night Live. David Cross and I have made a documentary that's going to come out in a few months. We climbed Machu Picchu together and we documented it. It's really about a lifelong friendship and in the trenches of showbiz. The power, the costumes, the mythic struggles. No idea. The Incredibles 2.
The power, the costumes, the mythic struggles. Winston Dever. You can call me Win.
I think he's similar to Saul. They are similar guys. The guy in Incredibles 2 is like a agent type guy, a mogul. And the whole gesturing and the kind of bigness of his presence is kind of a sleight of hand little move when you're trying to just get people to agree with you, whatever you're saying. Animation is a blast, and you can do all kinds of variations on your lines, and then they pick the one that they like. Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet, motherfucker. Who would say that? Nobody won?
Give me the goddamn kitty cat bracelet, motherfucker!
And I'm telling you what I love about this, the rage in this line and how ragefully I say it. It's every dad who's exhausted after a day at a park, and the most precious thing to his daughter or son is lost in the cushions of the car. And he can't find that goddamn thing, and the baby or the child is crying, and he's losing his mind with rage. And it's not appropriate rage, but it just builds up in you. Life is a series of demands on you when you're a parent. It's great to be able to do a movie where you let it explode and you get that angry about something so minor. I do believe that the two Nobody films, actually the first half of each of them is really more living in the real world-ish. As far as I know, the characters are not in the John Wick universe at all, ever. I do think the John Wick universe is a different plane of existence. While it's true that the endings of Nobody 1 and Nobody 2 are close to the John Wick universe, they are magical places where people can shoot a knife out of the air. That kind of magical stuff only happens in the cinema and in certain mythical, really, realms. My Little Women. That's from the movie Little Women. My Little Women. And I played Father March in the story. In real life, Bronson Alcott is a fascinating person who you can read about. There's a great book that's about Louisa and her dad. And I read that book before I played him. He encouraged his girls to become whatever they wanted to be. And they made a big deal about Bronson Alcott and how he built a desk for Louisa to write on. So encouraging a girl to write was like already kind of like, you're out of your mind. So I went to the house where the Alcotts lived. It's still there in Concord, Massachusetts. I'm sorry to have to report to you. It's about 12 inches wide. It's a little piece of wood around this post in her little bedroom. And I kind of was underwhelmed. But it's still a big deal that he did it. And here we go. Hey, are you those two guys who have their TV show in Aurora? That's right. That's from Wayne's World 2.
Hey, are you those two guys who have that TV show in Aurora?
Wayne's World?
Wayne's World.
I play a super nerd alongside my good friend Robert Smigel. And of course, we were friends with Mike Myers. Mike and I both got hired at Saturday Night Live. He as a performer, myself as a writer, within like 2 weeks of each other. We didn't write or work together much at SNL, and that's partly because Mike really worked on his own. But I liked Mike. He liked me. He came to see my one-man show. He knew I had aspirations to perform. He gave me this kick-ass prized role in his sequel to Wayne's World.